Welcome to the installation of Ashish K. Vaidya as the 6th president of Northern Kentucky University. As is the tradition for academic ceremonies, today's event will begin with the academic processional. Leading today's procession is the Grand Marshal, Dr. Matthew Zakate, President of the Faculty Senate, followed by the flag processional. The processional music is being performed by NKU's Symphonic Winds, led by Interim Director David Weber. Students at Northern Kentucky University represent more than 54 countries from around the world. Please welcome these selected representatives of NKU's international student body as they process in their home country's flags to join the flags on the stage. Student organizations and college and university delegates from across the nation who join NKU in our celebration today. Delegates will enter the hall in the order from the oldest institution to the most recently founded. Following students and delegates representing sister colleges and universities are the faculty of Northern Kentucky University. Please rise for the entrance of President Ashish K. Vaidya and members of the Platform Party. Please remain standing for the national anthem performed by Sarah Hack, Blair Lamb, and Gabriela Rivera, musical theater students from the School of the Arts.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the distinguished members of our Platform Party. Please stand as your names are called and remain standing until all introductions have been made. You are asked to please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Will members of the NKU Board of Regents please stand as I read your name? Chair of the Board of Regents, Lee Shaben. Vice Chair of the Board of Regents, Andre Ward. Secretary of the Board of Regents, Norman Desmarais. Regent Michael Baranowski. Regent David Bauer. Rich Bainey. Regent Hannah Eden. Regent Ashley Himes. Regent Terry Mann. Regent Dennis Repenning. Regent Gregory Shoemate. Will Dr. Richard Rush, the installation speaker, please stand and be recognized? Will the Honorable Michelle M. Keller, who will be the administrating the oath of office, please stand and be recognized? Will Dr. Aaron Thompson, President of the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, please stand and be recognized? Will our distinguished guests from the community please stand and be recognized? The Honorable Steve Pendry, Judge Executive of the Campbell County Fiscal Court. The Honorable Greg Myers, Mayor of the City of Highland Heights. Ms. Jill P. Meyer, President and CEO of the Cincinnati, USA Regional Chamber. Mr. Brent Cooper, President and CEO of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Will Mr. Jason Jackman, President of the NKU Foundation, please stand and be recognized? Will Mr. Mike McEwen, President of the Alumni Board of Directors, please stand and be recognized? Will Drs. Leon Booth and Dr. James Votruba, Presidents Emeritus of NKU, as well as the most recent interim president, Mr. Jerry St. Amand, please stand and be recognized? Will Dr. Nita Vaidya please stand and be recognized? We would like to welcome several sitting and acting presidents of other colleges and universities as distinguished guests at today's ceremony. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Robin Wacker, President of St. Cloud University, Dr. Timothy Carboni, President of Western Kentucky University, Dr. Joseph A. J. Morgan, President of Morehead State University, Dr. Michael Benson, President of Eastern Kentucky University, Dr. Nili Bendapudi, President of the University of Louisville, Dr. Fernando Figueroa, President of Gateway Community and Technical College, Dr. Monica Posey, President of Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, Dr. H. James Williams, President of Mount St. Joseph University, Dr. Kathleen Jaeger, Acting President of Thomas More University. Will the President's Cabinet and academic deans please stand and be recognized? Dr. James Buss, Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Kevin G. Kirby, Dean of the College of Informatics, Ms. Jonna Reeder Kleinmeyer, Interim Dean of the Hale U.S. Bank College of Business, Dr. Aller Lipping, Interim Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, Dr. Diana McGill, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Dale Stevenson, Dean of the College of Health Professions, Professor Michael Whiteman, Interim Dean of the Chase College of Law, Dr. Robert Zai, Interim Dean of the Frank Steele Library, Mr. Ken Botoff, Director of Athletics, Ms. Joan Gates, Vice President for Legal Affairs and General Counsel, Mr. Eric Gentry, Vice President for University Advancement, Mr. Michael Hales, Co-Interim Chief Administration Officer and Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Valerie Hardcastle, St. Elizabeth Healthcare, Executive Director of the Institute for Health Innovation and Vice President for Health Innovation, Mr. Benjamin Jaeger, Executive Assistant to the President and Secretary to the Board of Regents, Dr. Daniel Nadler, Vice President for Student Affairs, Ms. Sue-Ott Rollins, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Kathleen Roberts, Senior Advisor for Exclusive Excellence, Ms. Kim Scranage, Vice President for Enrollment and Degree Management, Ms. Lori Southwood, Co-Interim Chief Administrator Officer and Chief Human Resources Officer. Please also recognize the Chair of the Council of Chairs, Dr. Burke Miller, and Dr. Matthew Zakate, President of the Faculty Senate and Grand Marshal. And lastly, please welcome NKU's 6th President, Dr. Ashish Vaidya, President of Northern Kentucky University. Please now join me in recognizing this distinguished platform partner. Please welcome to the podium Mr. Lee Shaben, Chair of the Northern Kentucky University Board of Regents.
Good afternoon. It's great to see such a great crowd here today on such an important day for NKU's future. On behalf of the Northern Kentucky Board of Regents, faculty, staff, and students, and alumni, it's my pleasure to welcome everyone to the celebration this afternoon. My name is Lee Shaben. I'm Chair of the Board of Regents and presiding officer for today's ceremony. First, I would like to recognize all the talented students we have here today providing the music during today's ceremony. The prelude concert you enjoyed prior to the processional was performed by the NKU Jazz Combo led by John Zappa. Thanks also to Symphonic Winds processional music and our vocalist for the national anthem. we have several more musical performances to look forward to. Please join me in applauding the music so far. We have many distinguished guests here today. There's too many to recognize individually, but there are a few that I want to point out. In particular, we have President Vadia's wife, Dr. Nina Vadia, as well as his children, John Uv and Yuvanish Vadia, and a number of other family members that came in for this great occasion. Again, thanks for coming. NKU proudly celebrated its 50th anniversary last year in 2018, marking an astounding half-century of growth and impact on the community. What began as a dream in the mid-1960s, when Northern Kentucky's political and civic leaders began lobbying for a four-year university, is today, in every sense, a modern metropolitan university, a preeminent learner-centered institution that's been nationally recognized for its work on behalf of regional progress. As an agent of this regional progress, NKU works towards a core purpose of empowering the future of our students, enhancing the economic, social, and civic vitality of our region. To achieve this directive, NKU is committed to working closely with our community partners for the betterment of the Commonwealth and our greater Cincinnati region. It's now my pleasure to welcome several members of the community to offer their own greetings and congratulations to Dr. Vadia. Today, our first two speakers are Governor Matt Bevin and United States Senator for Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. Both couldn't make it today, but they wanted to share in the celebration, officially welcome President Vadia with a video greeting.
Please direct your attention to the video screens above the stage for a special greeting from the Honorable Matt Bevin, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Hi, this is Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. I want to just bring greetings to you from Frankfort, but also appreciation for your president, Dr. Ashish Vadia. He is a guy who I've gotten to know since actually I spoke to him before he became the president, when he was being considered. And from the very first conversation, I've been grateful for his vision and his ideas for how he wants to empower the university and empower the community surrounding the university. That word empower is one that's used often throughout language that you use at the university about empowering the students of today to be the change agents into the future. And I appreciate that. There's so many exciting things happening in Kentucky, but in Northern Kentucky in particular. And the kind of leadership that is being offered at every realm is critical. It's interesting, and if you go back and look throughout scriptures and throughout the writings of ancient times, that certainly King Solomon, regarded as one of the wisest people to have ever lived, and wrote many things that have been captured, including in the book of Ecclesiastes, talking about the three strands being woven together and how strong that is. He said one can easily be overwhelmed, two can defend one another, but three woven together are an impenetrable force that have the ability to create tremendous strength. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but in some measure, you've done the same thing there. You're weaving what is in the interests of the students, of the faculty, and of the community together into this powerful rope. And this entire week that you have been meeting has been focused on how indeed each student, each faculty member, in conjunction with their impact in the community, can leave a lasting impression, a deep taproot, a rope made of incredible strength. Thank you for that. I just am excited because the things that are happening economically are unbelievable, and we're just getting started. There is so much good that is happening, things percolating, seeds germinating in Northern Kentucky that are going to be transformative for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, transformative for the entire Cincinnati region, and transformative for the Midwest and, frankly, the United States of America. To Dr. Vadia, thank you so much for all that you are doing. It's an honor to know you. I am grateful for your willingness to always step up and be part of the solution every time we're trying to solve something. I look forward to continue to work with you for years and years to come. And to each of you who is watching this, thank you for making it so easy for me to say with great pride that we are Kentucky.
Please now direct your attention to the video screen above the stage for a special greeting from the Honorable Mitch McConnell, United States Senator for the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Hello, I'm Senator Mitch McConnell. I'm delighted to join all of you in celebrating the investiture of Dr. Ashish Vaidya as your new president of Northern Kentucky University. This is a special day, not only for this university, but also for the entire Commonwealth. NKU graduates can be found using the talents they've developed on this campus throughout Kentucky and around the globe. President Vaidya is the right choice to build upon NKU's many strengths and to lead this school to new heights. As an immigrant, his inspirational story shows the possibilities found in the American dream. As an economist, he excels in his field and has earned the respect of his peers. And as an administrator, he's honed the skills necessary to be the dynamic leader NKU needs at this moment. I'm confident that as your sixth president, Dr. Vaidya will help the school fulfill its potential. Over the last few months, I've had multiple occasions to meet with President Vaidya and to hear about his vision for NKU. Each time we've spoken, I've been impressed by his passion and his enthusiasm to get to work for the Norse community. So President Vaidya, as you formally begin your leadership of Northern Kentucky University, I wish you the best of luck. Along with its students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends, I look forward to seeing what you have in store for this great university. I'm confident you will keep the best interests of the students at the heart of your work and that you'll help NKU continue to thrive. Congratulations on this important day.
Representing Campbell County, please welcome the Honorable Steve Pendry, Judge Executive of Campbell County Fiscal Court.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to Forbes magazine, one of America's best colleges is located right here. That same college has also been ranked as a best value. If you're not used to thinking of NKU that way, you need to make a mental adjustment. NKU has arrived nationally. And actually, that happened some time ago. Like many of us, this university is now over 50 years old. Unlike most of it, it has grown much stronger, more capable, and has gotten better looking with time. There are now 65,000 NKU alumni from all 50 states and 45 foreign countries. 50,000 of them have stayed in our area, living within a 50-mile radius. Today, over 14,000 students are taking advantage of the opportunity to attend this great university, with over half the student body being drawn from Campbell, Kenton, and Boone counties. In Northern Kentucky, then, we are NKU. Northern Kentucky has become the most vibrant and successful economy in our state over the last generation, and in part that's because of NKU. The university has made the conscious decision to make support of our economic development efforts a top priority. Northern has not just tailored its curriculum to provide for the needs of our community, whole colleges have been created with the intention of supplying the diplomas and the certificates that are needed to populate target industries here and to spur or solidify our growth. The College of Informatics and the Health Innovation Center are two recent examples. NKU has taken a place alongside our airport as the two major engines driving our economy, and its students graduate with educations that are not just relevant for them in this marketplace, but necessary for the future of our region. NKU is so critical to our region, and by extension to this state, the presidency of NKU may just be the most consequential leadership position we have here. President Vaidya has actually been on the job long enough already to have established his great quality and our good fortune to have him. So in my mind today, we need to recall the central role played by Northern in our community's life and rededicate ourselves to the support of this institution, recognizing that its success is our success. I suppose it's possible, but my observation is it's awfully hard to beat us in Northern Kentucky when we are united behind a great cause. And so I say, greetings, Ashish and Nita. Today we deliver to you the proverbial keys to a powerful, well-oiled machine. We may do some backseat driving, but that's what the consent of the government, or the consent of the governed is all about. Your community intends that we go places together. The road stretches before us, and metaphysically speaking, we have a beautiful day. So let's go, and the speed limit be damned.
Representing the city of Highland Heights, please welcome the Honorable Greg Myers, Mayor of Highland Heights.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, on this great afternoon. It gives me great pleasure as the mayor of the city of Highland Heights to welcome President Vidia and his wife, their family, and their guests who they brought in from all parts of the country to be here and celebrate such a day with them. Inauguration of our 6th president of NKU. It's a great day. It's a great day to be here at NKU. It's a great day to be in Highland Heights. I also want to recognize our board of regents here at NKU, our elected officials that are sitting up on the platform, our many, many guests up here that came to honor Dr. Vidia in this great achievement of being our 6th president. And again, to the audience, the people who took time out of their days, come here today and help celebrate a great event. So on behalf of the city of Cincinnati, that's great. On behalf of the great city of Highland Heights and its 7,000 residents, I'd like to send a big Highland Heights welcome out to President Vidia, his wife, and his family. Some days people say, why do you do these things? What do you do when you're mayor? You know? And it's days like this is what makes the difference. You know, it has its times and tribulations. It has its headaches. And it's never the same day in the office over there. But it's days when you get a chance to spend and welcome people like yourselves and be attendant to an event like this and be part of a great university that is home to Northern Kentucky and is home to Highland Heights. And we are very proud to say that. Thank you and God bless.
Please welcome Jill P. Meyer, President and CEO of the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber.
Board of Regents, faculty, administration, students, distinguished guests, supporters, and friends, I am grateful for this opportunity to say, Dr. Vidia, congratulations on your investiture as the 6th president of my alma mater. As a proud alum and on behalf of the Cincinnati Regional Chamber, our board of directors, and our nearly 4,000 members across the MSA, I am honored to be a part of your historical day and to say, quite simply, we are so glad you're here. In your time here already, you've quickly understood why a regional lens is an imperative to economic growth, to developing the workforce of tomorrow, and expanded partnerships to position more people for individual success. All of these pieces, of course, create this wonderful community. In all of our collective work to grow the vibrancy and economic prosperity of our region, Northern Kentucky University is and always has been a valued partner and a true pioneer in tackling opportunities with invention, focus, and good old-fashioned grit to get it done. Look no further than the College of Informatics, today enabling students and businesses across our region to thrive in this age of constant innovation and digital transformation. President Vaidya, you have joined a region on the rise. It is an exciting time of new growth, bold vision, and unmatched collaboration that is transforming us into our future region. And it requires a lot of work from all of us to meet our momentous challenge. Your leadership already has pushed us in new ways and opened new doors that will continue to teach and transform us in countless ways. Here at NKU, through your partnership and your own board leadership at the Cincinnati Regional Chamber, and throughout our entire community, which you already have embraced. Your unique impact will continue to be a gift to us all, a motivator, and a unifier around the future of NKU, our entire region, and the individuals who are fortunate enough to be a part of this. And for that, I say thank you, I say welcome, and I say let's get to work.
Please welcome Brent Cooper, President and CEO of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon. Excuse me. When I was asked to serve on the search committee, I think it was Norm Desmaris and Rich Bainey on our Board of Regents who asked me to serve. I was, as you can imagine, very honored, excited, and a bit nervous. And frankly, when I saw the size of the committee, there were 19 individuals on that committee, folks from faculty and staff, business and civic leaders. I didn't think you could get 19 people to agree on anything, so I was nervous. I can tell you that that was a wonderful process, and at the end of the day, the vote was unanimous for our new president, and we were so excited when he accepted. What a wonderful thing to have both Ashish and Nita here in our community. And I want you to know, as the Northern Kentucky Chamber president, I offered to drive them wherever they wanted. I was Uber Cooper, and I would take them to any restaurant they wanted. The only thing I couldn't promise is that I could tell them, you know, what kind of barber to select. Everything else was on the table. For the past 50 years, the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce and the Northern Kentucky University have grown together. This coming Monday, actually, is the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce's 50th anniversary. And as I look back over the last 50 years at all the infrastructure, investments, we helped lead the charge for the College of Informatics. We helped lead the charge for the Health Innovation Center, for equitable funding for our university. We've been there every step of the way, and that will continue because we need Northern Kentucky University. We need higher education in general, but our region specifically needs Northern Kentucky University to succeed. So all of you that are here today, I'm so grateful that you're here. Our distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and students. And I want a message from the for the students. I want you to know that we want you to stay here in this great region. We are part of the greater Cincinnati region, Northern Kentucky is. I often say if Cincinnati was Minneapolis, we would be St. Paul. We are, and we must be together, especially on issues like workforce and transportation. We want you to stay here and create this wonderful community, continue to build on what's been accomplished, and continue to make this one of the best places in the country to live, work, play, and raise a family. Ashish is the kind of president that can throw out the first pitch, if you saw him do that this week. He can stand in front of elected officials in Frankfort and talk about the importance of access for all students, talk about the barriers to completion, talk about the importance of community engagement, and then he can go into the crowd and norse up with the students. He is that kind of person. He's the whole package. And so again, we're very grateful for him to be here. As we look at all the different things that we're doing at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, our international trade efforts, our women's initiative, our Northern Kentucky young professionals, and our growing regional outcomes through workforce, all of those things are in partnership with Northern Kentucky University. And so again, we're so grateful for that partnership to maintain. We're so grateful for Ashish to be here, and we're grateful for this institution. Thank you all so much.
Representing the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, please welcome Dr. Aaron Thompson, President.
Board of Regents, faculty, staff, students, honored platform guests, and honored audience, and especially Dr. Nita and Ashish Vaidya, we welcome you to Kentucky. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, it is my honor and privilege to represent over 250,000 faculty, staff, students, and administrators from our public colleges and universities to say that, President Vaidya, we are here with honor and blessing to have you a part of our educational system in Kentucky. The Council on Post-Secondary Education is the coordinating board of the state's public colleges and universities. And as its president, I am committed to advancing the prosperity, health, and quality of life of this great Commonwealth through the transformative powers as what's been shown here at NKU and all of higher education. I am working with our institutions to increase post-secondary access, equity, and completion because, to put it simply, and I want everybody to know this, and we need to tell everybody that's in this audience and outside of this building that higher education matters. Higher education still remains the single most effective strategy for lifting individuals out of poverty and to fulfilling, rewarding careers. It instills essential skills like teamwork, communication, and problem solving. This enables graduates to adapt to rapidly changing workforce and perform work that can't be done by machines. It exposes students to diversity, the diversity of thought as well as socioeconomic, racial, ethnic differences, which increases the acceptance and empathy of our students and our society. It teaches intellectuals to be intellectually curious and rigorous in examining their beliefs and the beliefs of others. It promotes creativity, innovation, and engagement, which fosters a more entrepreneurial and community-minded spirit. And I know of nothing more powerful to a great economic development system than having a great higher education system. In its 50 years of existence, no other university has shown this more than NKU. In fact, when the Carnegie Foundation created a new destination for community engagement, NKU was part of its inaugural class. It's a central focus here at NKU, and I've been privileged to be very much a part of that conversation over the last 25 years. NKU has carved out a niche for itself among the state's comprehensive universities through its College of Informatics, which is an innovative program designed to help students navigate today's digital world. Over the last 5 years, degree production alone in this college has risen 80%. NKU's new Institute for Health Informatics is transforming health science education to better equip, empower, and most importantly, inspire the healthcare workers of tomorrow. Its partnerships with St. Elizabeth Healthcare has garnered a $1.4 million investment from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And others around the state and nation are looking to this institution to keep doing this kind of innovation. I will tell you personally, in my last 9 months working with President Vaidya, I have especially enjoyed and been impressed by his constant movement to not only make this university a university that's efficient and effective, to give it a chance to do all the things that all universities should do, but I've been impressed by his ability to argue the points with not only me, but many of the folks in the legislature and the governor's office to do that. He has the right credentials. He has the right background. He has the right entrepreneurial spirit, exactly what NKU is known for and exactly what he will take you to at the next level. His vision is powerful, and we are happy to welcome him to higher education in Kentucky. Welcome, Dr. Vaidya.
Today's first musical interlude is an excerpt from the fourth movement of Ludwig van Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, Opus 125. Performing today are the NKU Philharmonic Orchestra and the NKU Choirs, conducted by Dr. Amy Gillingham. The NKU Philharmonic is directed by Dr. Gillingham, and the NKU Choirs are directed by Katie Barton. To introduce today's keynote address, please welcome NKU Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Ms. Sue Ott-Rollins.
Good afternoon. I am very honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Richard Rush. Dr. Rush is President Emeritus of California State University, Channel Islands, and was the founding president at the university's inception in 2001, a role he held until 2016. While there are certainly many important strategic decisions set before a president in the building of a new university from the ground up, one of Dr. Rush's best decisions was to hire a certain Dr. Ashish Vaidya. During his time in California State University, Channel Islands, Dr. Rush successfully laid the groundwork for the university's future growth and accomplishment through the establishment of the university's infrastructure, the hiring of faculty and administrative staff, and developing the academic and strategic focus among a myriad of other tasks. Despite the demands of serving in this role, Dr. Rush was still available to serve as a friend and a mentor, a role he still fills to this day. Prior to his time at Cal State Channel Islands, Dr. Rush served as the president of Minnesota State University, Mankato, where he was committed to strengthening ties between the university and its regional community and business partners. He also served as Executive Vice President for California State University, San Marcos. Dr. Rush is a nationally respected leader in higher education and considered by his peers as President of Presidents. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Richard Rush.
Thank you, Sue. Governor Bevin, Senator McConnell, Chair Shaban, and members of the Board of Regents, Judge Pendery, Mayor Myers, Justice Keller, distinguished business and education leaders, estimable faculty, administrators, staff, and particularly students, colleague presidents, delegates from other universities, members of this outstanding community. I am particularly honored to participate in the installation of my dear friend and colleague, Ashish Vaidya, as the 6th president of Northern Kentucky University. When Ashish asked me to speak on this occasion, I warned him that I might be liable to tell all, since we have a shared history dating back almost 2 decades. I must admit that his response was somewhat shakily confident that he hadn't made a mistake in inviting someone who has known him so well for so long. Well, my friend, never fear. This occasion calls for a celebration of a remarkable milestone, not for a roast. I have long been aware of the presence and quality of Northern Kentucky University, emphasized for me during the presidency of Jim Votruba, a colleague I have greatly admired, who positioned the university in a leadership role nationally and throughout this region for his commitment to public engagement and innovation. Now, the university is prepared to affirm anew a notable dedication to student success, grounded as it is in this region and, by extension, impacting the entire Commonwealth and its future. The preparation of students for leadership in the time to come has never been more important, considering the complexities which they will face. Not only will they be called upon to continue to vitalize this region's economy, but they will be participants in essential discussions of such matters as the nature of our democracy, the potential of collaborative efforts for the common good, and the importance of a moral center in one's private life and one's public life. In this regard, the university will play one of the central roles in forming that broad personal, civic, and career orientation in students. Not so long ago, at a campus not that far away, to take license with the Star Wars introduction, I was reminded of a quote that was pertinent then and which has held its significance going forward. It was an unsettled time in the early part of the last century when the poet John Masefield characterized a university in timeless words that resonate with us even now. There are few earthly things more beautiful than a university. It is a place where those who hate ignorance may strive to know, where those who perceive truth may strive to make others see, where seekers and learners alike, banded together in the search for knowledge, will honor thought in all of its finer ways, will welcome thinkers in distress or in exile, will uphold ever the dignity of thought and learning that will exact standards in these things. There is nothing more splendid than a university. In these days of broken promises and frontiers and collapsing values, when dams are down and the floods are making misery, where every future looks somewhat grim and every ancient foothold has become something of a quagmire, wherever a university stands, it stands and shines. Wherever it exists, the free minds of men and women, urged on to full and fair inquiry, may still bring wisdom to human affairs. These words resound in the mission of Northern Kentucky University, an institution which has provided access to generations of seekers and learners, and has extended its leadership in upholding the dignity of thought and learning. These are perilous days in many ways. A university may be the only place in our society currently where ideas inspirational or even heinous can be analyzed and challenged on their intrinsic merits, celebrated and promulgated when constructive, rejected and castigated when demeaning. This is the integrity of a university, and notable at NKU for its tradition of such public engagement with matters pertinent in this region and far beyond. To enhance such a distinguished university and to burnish its reputation for innovation in service to students require a special individual, one committed to a servant leader model that places student success in the fore and holds dear the full and fair inquiry embedded in the values of higher education, teaching, learning, and research. In Ashish Vaidya, Northern Kentucky has such a leader. His integrity, intelligence, and passion, manifested in a vigorous life of the mind, combined with a vision of this region's future needs, establish him as the right person to lead NKU at this time. Moreover, President Vaidya's commitment to student success, taken collectively and respected particularly in each student's aspirations, demonstrates that human touch that he brings in support of those who seek to create a better life for themselves and for their families. Unlike Woodrow Wilson, who, when president of Princeton, glibly responded to a mother asking what the university would do for her son, we guarantee satisfaction or we'll give your son back. President Vaidya won't be giving back any sons or daughters. His serious purpose and his application of the highest standards of the Academy will enhance his vision of service leadership to an individual student's success, to the mission and ideals of NKU, to the benefit of this region that has long since embraced the university's enduring value. I am reminded that in the days of the Athenian democracy, each citizen was required to pronounce an oath as a sign of total support for the city's ideals. By simply changing the term city to university in the oath, I offer these profound words from the cradle of democracy as the articulation of what Northern Kentucky University's appointment of Ashish Vaidya will bring to this campus and to those it serves. We will never bring disgrace to this, our university, by any act of dishonesty or cowardice. We will fight for the ideals and the sacred things of the university, both alone and with many. We will revere and obey the university's laws and do our best to incite to a like respect and reverence those who are prone to annul or set them at naught. We will strive unceasingly to quicken the public sense of public duty, that thus, in all these ways, we transmit to this university not only not less, but greater, better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Godspeed, President Vaidya, my friend, and as my Celtic forebears used to say, may the road rise up to meet you on your way.
Please welcome Genevieve Vaidya, Alina Sa, and Rushira Sa for a special musical performance.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall, some are dead and some are living. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and all these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
Our thanks to Genevieve Vaidia, Elena Sa, and Ruchera Sa for that special performance, accompanied by NKU School of the Arts faculty Jamie Strawn and students Sam Ruscher and Nick Hack.
So, how do we get here today for our sixth president? Let's talk about our tremendous growth and unique efforts of our 5 former presidents. Our first was Dr. Frank Steele, was called upon to lead Northern Kentucky State College during the formative years and serving as president from 1969 to 1975. His tenure is marked by rapid growth in physical facilities and faculty hiring. His name proudly lives on in the W. Frank Steele Library. Dr. A.D. Albright served as NKU's second president from 1976 to 1983. The NKU Foundation was created, and NKU received full accreditation by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools during his tenure. Dr. Albright's name lives on in the A.D. Albright Health Center. Today, we're fortunate to have 2 of our former presidents here, Dr. Leon Booth and Dr. James Vitruba. Dr. Booth served as president from 1983 to 1996. His focus of what's called qualitative growth resulted in the formation of the College of Business, the creation of the honors program, and an increase in on-campus housing. In honor of his efforts to expand on-campus housing, the residential village was rededicated to Dr. Leon E. Booth Residential Village in 2007. Dr. James Vitruba served as president from 1997 until 2002. When Dr. Vitruba became president of Northern Kentucky University, he said his job appealed to him because NKU and Northern Kentucky were not afraid to dream big. And dream big he did. Under his leadership, the College of Informatics was established, and BBT Arena, Griffin Hall, the student union, which now bears the name, the James C. and Rachel M. Vitruba Student Union, were realized. Finally, NKU's 5th president, Jeff Mearns, served from 2002 to 2017. Mr. Mearns championed a change funding model for higher education in our state, which helped NKU gain more balanced financial footing among Kentucky universities. He also led the effort to get our new Health Innovation Center built. Please join me in recognizing these outstanding leaders of our university. So now our future. Today we formally welcome to this list of outstanding leaders someone who will continue the forward growth of NKU into its next 50 years. I now ask Ashish K. Vaidia to step forward. I'd also like to invite Board of Regents Vice Chair Andre Ward to join me for the formal installation into office. Ashish K. Vaidya, the Board of Regents has chosen you as President of Northern Kentucky University. Yours will be the great privilege and responsibility of leading Northern Kentucky University. The President's Medallion is a symbol of this responsibility and is worn by the President at official university celebrations, most notably at commencement. It is now my honor to present this medallion to our sixth President, Ashish K. Vaidya. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Michelle M. Keller, Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court. Justice Keller was first appointed to the Kentucky Supreme Court in April of 2013. Prior to her service on the Supreme Court, she was elected as judge on the Kentucky Court of Appeals in November of 2006. Before serving on the bench, Justice Keller practiced law for 17 years and also served as assistant county attorney in her native Kenton County. Justice Keller attended Northern Kentucky's Chase College of Law while working as a licensed registered nurse in critical care, earning her Juris Doctor in 1990. She has received several accolades and awards for her achievements, including Chase presented her, Justice Keller, with the Chase Excellence Award in 2007 and a Chase Exceptional Service Award in 2011. In 2012, Justice Keller was named Outstanding Woman in Northern Kentucky for her commitment to public service and community involvement. Please welcome Justice Michelle Keller.
Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, it is my distinct honor and privilege to administer Kentucky's constitutional oath and today the presidential oath to Dr. Vaidya. Are you ready to take the oath?
I am.
I'll ask that you raise your right hand and speak into the microphone so all can hear. I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth.
I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
And be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as I remain a citizen thereof.
And I remain a citizen thereof. Say that again.
And be faithful and true.
I'll faithfully execute to the best of my ability.
Faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
It's not a good start, is it?
That's okay. Faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
As long as I continue a citizen thereof.
As long as I continue a citizen thereof.
And that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability.
And I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability.
The office of President of the Northern Kentucky University according to law.
The office of the President of Northern Kentucky University according to law.
We're halfway there. Okay. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution.
And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution.
I being a citizen of this state.
I being a citizen of the state.
Have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it.
Have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it.
Nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons.
Nor have I accepted or set a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons.
Nor have I acted as a second in carrying such challenge.
Nor have I acted as a second in carrying such a challenge.
Nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
Nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to invite to the podium the sixth president of this great university, Dr. Ashish K. Vaidya.
I think for a moment there, the Board of Regents was saying, what did we do? Thank you, Chair Shaban and members of the Board of Regents, for giving me the incredible honor and privilege of serving this great university as its 6th president. Dick, thank you for your words this afternoon and for being such a great friend and being here on this occasion. You have been mentor ever since I met you, and I still remember those inspiring words when you hired me, first as a faculty member and later as the dean. You said, Ashish, your job is to make me look good. I want to thank all our distinguished community members today for their very, very kind words. It is such a joy to come together with this campus, our community, my friends and family, to celebrate NKU's long tradition of excellence. I do have to say, when I just walked in this afternoon, seeing all my friends and family from across the nation, and frankly, from all the way from India, just made my heart stop. It was so incredible. Family and friends from Canada, India, California, Minnesota, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, all across have come, and I feel truly, truly honored. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I'm most especially grateful that my 81-year-old mother-in-law decided to make the trip all the way from India to come and be here with her son-in-law on this special occasion. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. It truly means the world to me. In my original remarks, I listed all the people that I would like to thank for their support, encouragement, and best wishes, as well as the many individuals who've worked tirelessly to make Inauguration Week and this investiture ceremony such a memorable and celebratory one. Well, acknowledging all those people took 27 minutes, even when I just used their first names. So instead, I will say this. My parents named me Ashish, which in Sanskrit means blessing. But I'm the one who's truly blessed to have so many people in my life that love, support, encourage, mentor, challenge, inspire, and yes, on occasion, even tolerate me. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Even though neither of my parents can be with us today, I know that they would be bursting with pride, their hearts filled with joy. My mother, true to her style, would have been busy making sweets to feed all of you. On a day like this, I miss the presence of my brother-in-law, Arun Bhai, and my father-in-law, even more. Their quiet intellect and unassuming qualities were a source of strength for me and my family. Students, I am so thrilled to see so many of you for this celebration. You're always our first priority, and interacting with you over the past 9 months has been a real joy. To our devoted faculty, the lifeblood of this university, thank you for joining us today. You impact our students' lives each and every day. You're an inspiration to not only the students, our alumni, but also our community. And to our wonderful NKU staff, thank you for always putting students first. 2 weeks ago, NKU turned 51 years young. The future that we celebrate today is made possible by the visionaries who came before us, and we thank them who over the past 5 decades have helped build NKU into the special place it is now. Our founders, our past and present faculty and staff, nearly 70,000 alumni laid the foundation for this university's bright future. Today, we especially feel the presence and impact of each of the presidents who preceded me. I embark on this journey knowing fully well that your contributions have laid the foundation for future success. In 1963, Clark Kerr, the famous president of the University of California system, described the many expectations of a university president. The university president is expected to be a friend of the students, a colleague of the faculty, a good fellow of the alumni, a sound administrator with the trustees, a good speaker with the public, an astute bargainer with the foundations and federal agencies, a politician with the state legislature, a friend of industry, labor, and agriculture, a persuasive diplomat with donors, a champion of education generally, a spokesman to the press, a scholar in his own right, a public servant at the national and state levels, a devotee of opera and football equally, a decent human being. Above all, he must enjoy traveling in airplanes, eating his meals in public, and attending public ceremonies. No one can be all these things, and some succeed at being none. Well, I can say that asking me to appreciate opera as much as my beloved San Francisco 49ers would have just been a bit much. Thankfully, the board did not write all these expectations in the position description. But this is what they did say: a creative, courageous, and mission-driven president, someone to chart an adventurous course and share NKU's ambitious and entrepreneurial spirit, have a commitment to student success, academics, access, and inclusive excellence, be able to strengthen and expand NKU's impact on economic development in the region and across the state, and must be able to address the three major problems facing us: cheap and healthy food options for the students, championships for the alumni, and parking for the faculty and staff. Well, they didn't really put that last point in, but some issues are the same everywhere. Back in the fall, I said what drew me to NKU and this region was the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation and a great tradition of civic and community engagement. The university's leading work on regional stewardship has deeply influenced me over the course of my career, and I wanted to be part of what NKU does next. I continue to believe that this is an exciting time for NKU to redefine and reclaim the narrative about the significance of a 21st century public institution and the value of a college education. It is clear that what this region needs is more talent, especially in technology and health-related fields, more civically engaged and community-minded citizens, and more innovations to address the critical and pressing social and health-related challenges of today and tomorrow. By renewing our commitment to the promise made by our founders, NKU is in an excellent position to continue to meet and exceed the expectations of the region and our students. Let me share with you an early experience in my career and what it taught me. As a new assistant professor back in the day, I became aware of the changing demographics and the needs of the students we serve. My offer letter from California State University, Los Angeles, stated that as part of my tenure track appointment, I might be required to teach evening and Saturday classes. I was just too excited to accept and sign the letter to think about the unusual requirement. It was only when I arrived on campus that I realized that so many of our students work during the day, and the only way they could take advantage of a college education was to go at night or on weekends. Now, both Nita and I enjoyed teaching those evening classes. Unfortunately, we had non-conflicting schedules, so we could be with our two kids while we worked full-time. But some of our students didn't have that luxury. One of my earliest encounters was with a student who told me that she had to miss my midterm exam the following week and wondered if I would allow her to find a way to make up the exam. And I said, no, the schedule is set. She accepted my answer and walked away, obviously dejected. But then I began to think to myself, why is she asking about next week? I'd had students who'd come to me before, after missing a test, saying that they were sick or something to that effect. But this young woman was asking me about next week. So I asked her what the issue was. And she said she was a single mom who worked during the day and depended on her aunt for childcare while she was in school. Her aunt had a trip planned the following week, and she needed a babysitter during our exam time and couldn't find one. So she would have to miss the exam. I thought to myself, wow, this is the type of student I need to serve. She had family obligations to balance against school and work. In that moment, I realized I could not be so rigid in my ways. I had to reorient my thinking. I learned that we all need to adapt and find ways to help learners succeed no matter what. 7 months ago, during my fall convocation remarks, I said we would make advancing student success aligned with the needs of the region as our singular focus. That priority would be fulfilled through our emphasis on the 3 pillars of access, completion, and career and community engagement. Last week, we shared a first look of our strategic framework, Success by Design. While we left our mission statement intact from what was developed 5 years ago, our vision reflects the changing landscape and what we must do to inspire to be over the next decade. NKU will be a nationally recognized for being a student-ready, regionally engaged university that empowers diverse learners for economic and social mobility. What does student-ready mean? In 2016, Tia Brown McNair, the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Student Success at the Association of American Colleges and Universities, along with 3 other colleagues, published a manuscript titled Becoming a Student-Ready College, A New Culture of Leadership for Student Success. This book was written in response to national conversations and efforts to advance student success and post-secondary education. This term student-ready comes from a belief that if significant progress is to be made on the student success agenda, there must be a paradigm shift in how educators design and lead student success efforts. Instead of focusing solely on students being college-ready and on students' perceived deficits, educators must focus on what they can do to create educational environments that meet students where they are and eliminate barriers that hinder their success. The authors ask a series of questions and offer insightful principles and strategies for achieving student success. The first principle in becoming a student-ready college is that all people who work on campus have the capacity to be effective educators and leaders in the learning process. In order for all of us to be effective leaders and educators, we must embody the goals and objectives for student success and be actively engaged in change efforts to align and transform the institution for those goals. I have no doubt that with the high level of commitment our faculty and staff have to serve our students, we can model student readiness for the nation. What does regionally engaged mean for NKU in this next phase of our development? We have already made the case that we must be stewards of place, but now we must focus on advancing university-community partnerships to create an engaged learning economy in this region. That means developing the next version of experiential, work-integrated, and community-engaged learning. And how do we integrate economic, social, and civic engagement? But we must do so to create enduring value. With NKU's strong foundation of community-based research, service learning, entrepreneurship, and volunteerism, we can reassert the economic and democratic purpose of higher education. Why diverse learners? As many of us saw in the powerful documentary Unlikely, too many Americans are failing to graduate college, in part because our assumptions about them are wrong. The traditional college student, as an 18 to 21-year-old fresh out of high school, is a declining demographic, especially in our region. However, more and more students, long considered to be non-traditional learners, are entering higher education. According to the Lumina Foundation, 37% of undergraduates nationally are 25 or older. 46% are first-generation college-goers, and 42% are students of color. Nearly 64% work while in college, 40% full-time. 24% are raising children or other dependents, and 31% come from families at or below the federal poverty guidelines. We are beginning to think of these students as post-traditional, and those numbers are expected to grow over time. Over the last decade, NKU has seen an increase in the proportion of first-generation and underrepresented students as well. In the fall of 2008, our underrepresented minority students represented less than 7.5% of our enrollment. Last fall, that proportion had nearly doubled to 14%. Additionally, 43% of our fall 2018 undergraduates are first-generation students. And these numbers are expected to grow over the next few years, particularly with Latino students. In response to the changing demographics of the region and the nation, Sally Johnston, the president of the National Center for Higher Education Management Systems, said in a recent article that leaders in higher education will be challenged to lead mature institutions that need to focus less on providing more access to recent high school graduates and more on serving a different set of students very well. In addition to the changes in the ways new traditional age students use and regard technologies, these institutions must adapt their practices for students of different income levels, preparation, ethnicities, and ages. Our campus is home to diverse learners, and we need to be ready to help them gain economic and social upward mobility. Two of the defining features of the American dream are opportunity and intergenerational mobility. The idea that with hard work and education, every generation can aspire to a better life than the previous one. Led by economist Raj Chetty, one of many brilliant Indian American economists, a team of researchers are working passionately to understand how to improve economic opportunities for all Americans. They find that absolute mobility has fallen in all 50 states, with the largest declines concentrated in the states in the industrial Midwest. While our region has seen a similar decline, education is a potent pathway to success, especially for children from disadvantaged backgrounds. Students from low-income households are 5 times more likely to move out of poverty if they earn a college degree. Our job is to ensure that we eliminate the attainment gap between different groups of students so that education offers opportunities for all. We have a tremendous opportunity to restate the value of an NKU education, especially for first-generation low-income students and post-traditional students. Our commitment to increasing access, successful completion, and opportunities for career and community engagement for all learners will lead us to become the most vital asset in the region and the Commonwealth for economic, social, and civic prosperity. NK will drive the growth of diverse talent within the region and be a truly networked university through deliberate engagement and collaboration with community partners, including K-12 and businesses. Our aims are high, and we must be fierce in staying focused on this vision. It is vitally important not just to our economy, but to our very democracy. It is my belief that if we accept a student at this university, we have the moral obligation to ensure that they receive every opportunity to meet their educational goals. We have an obligation to do that and help them succeed, and we will. We're on the precipice of something truly special here. NKU has established itself as an institution that is making an impact in the region and beyond. In a recent opinion piece, our own county judge executive, Steve Pendry, wrote, "As the university has grown over the years with programs of greater and greater sophistication, being housed in purpose-built facilities, which themselves add to the quality of the experience, the value of an NKU diploma has risen impressively, with benefits for us all. Each of us has a stake in seeing to it that progress at NKU continues. There is still work to be done. Let us answer that call. Today, we explore new alliances, local, national, and global, based on developing strategic solutions to solve our toughest problems related to access, retention, completion, and career and community engagement. In this new era of collaboration, we will deepen our alliances around nearly every function of the campus, from recruitment to career services, from program development to mentorship and wellness. In 2017, accepting the Reginald Wilson Diversity Leadership Award from the American Council of Education, Millie Garcia, the former president of Cal State Fullerton and now the president of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, said the following: "If we believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, if we believe the mother of exile shines bright for your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, and if we believe in Dr. King's dream, then we must also believe in equitable access to quality higher education for all students, regardless of where they are from, how they got here, who they love, what gender they identify with, how much money they have in their bank accounts, or what God they pray to. I know NKU can." I know NKU can and will become a national model for being a student-ready, regionally engaged university that empowers diverse learners to climb the ladder of economic and social mobility. I am so proud to join you on this journey. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your president. Thank you.
Please welcome Hannah Edlin, Student Representative to the NKU Board of Regents and President of the Student Government Association.
When I think of Northern Kentucky University, I think of opportunity. I think of opportunity that would not exist without its existence. I think of opportunity for a fresh start and a new beginning. I think of opportunity for a better tomorrow. And I think of the opportunity that wouldn't be here today if it weren't for this institution. I think of change, to be molded like clay into something beautiful, even more so something of purpose. I think of this place and I cannot help but feel my heart begin to warm as it paces with wonder and excitement for what it has given me and thousands before me and thousands now. I think of a story that I'm all too familiar with, a story of a broken girl who was told that she was never good enough. A girl in a place where opportunity was created by entitlement, but not by the content of your character. A girl in a town where advancing one's education did not exist, and if it did, it was limited. A girl who, until she found her way here, did not understand what it felt like to be home. This girl aspired to be an outlier, sought a place that believed in her, and her great excitement, it did. It showed her how to dance, tap dance to be exact. It showed her how to laugh, to learn passionately and curiously, and how when the going gets tough, the tough get going. This girl did not show up at NKU with a sense of entitlement, but a chip on her shoulder with the passion and inspirations and the dreams to be more. It gave her a platform to speak about her passions, and it encouraged her to be the best version of herself. And it loved her. It loved her like the students across the Commonwealth since its inception among this journey just over 50 years ago. This place was not born with magic. Instead, the magic was brought in by the selfless generosity, sense of community, and a dream to be more than whatever thought was possible. It was filled with people who breathed and spoke life into the vision for a university where dreams can come to life, where you can be a difference maker in your community, where you can aspire to have a better life, and where you can be more than just a number. This little girl was me. And there are so many people, alumni, current and prospective students alike, that are so thankful for this place and the vision of those that came before us who have allowed us the opportunity to call this place our home and have given us our voice. The unwavering vision of this institution has stayed constant, but over time the leadership has changed. The men and women of our communities who have put their heads together to secure the leadership of this institution have always done the absolute best work, and this time was no exception. We hit a home run with NKU's sixth president, Dr. Ashish Vaidya. Dr. Vaidya is unlike any other president I've ever met before. He is kind, and he is patient. And in such a short time, I know that he has grown to love this community because of the amount of love that he puts into this work. I think there's something to be said about someone who looks at this university with in mind the issues that surround higher ed in Frankfort and across the U.S., and how that someone believes in a place where the odds seem against and wants nothing more than to embrace this community and push it forward through partnerships, shared sacrifice, and while ensuring that the focus is still on the students, the reason for the creation of this institution. Dr. Vaidia's commitment to success, access, completion, and career and community engagement go beyond the goals of what is outlined in the early stages of the strategic framework, but they are the values that he holds. One time, someone asked him whether or not we would essentially be bogged down by underachievers coming into NKU, and he said something that was so powerful to me. It was something along the lines that we are a university that will not give up on students, no matter where they are. We will meet them, and we will do what we have to do to help them succeed, because it's a priority and it's our responsibility to serve all students, regardless of the background or where they come from. Those words, like a chronotope, traveled me back in time to when my home economics teacher, Sarah Rakes, first believed in me, a poor farm girl who was unlikely to attend college. Fast forward to April Redden's love as she poured into a scared NKU freshman patience and kindness with an unfamiliar scheduling appointment. To Sarah Aikman, listening to not only all my boy problems throughout college, but being a lighthouse for me when I needed it the most. To Dean Buss for pushing this girl to prepare herself for the next step of law school, a goal that once seemed unattainable. Dr. Vaidia speaks this same light and has the same driving force behind everything that he is doing here, and has that same challenge for all faculty, staff, and community members. We have a responsibility to this place, the Commonwealth, and to the many dreamers and doers in this audience. We all call our students, our faculty, our staff, and some even so our family. Let us be known as the university that measures the worth of our students not by the dollar amount that they make, but by their philanthropic endeavors, their dedication to the region and state, their ability to empathize and be vulnerable enough to learn something that might seem unfamiliar or scary. Let us be known as the university that creates a way for students that thought there was no way, and fuels the flame towards a greater Northern Kentucky and a greater Commonwealth. And I can think of no better person than to help write that narrative than Dr. Vaidia. Thank you.
Please rise for the singing of the alma mater performed by Sarah Hack, Blair Lamb, Matthew Nasida, and Jeshuan Jackson, musical theater students from the School of the Arts. Following the alma mater, please remain standing while the academic procession exits the arena floor. The recessional music will be performed by the NKU Latin Jazz Ensemble, led by director Pablo Benvenidez Ramos. Following the recessional, all guests are invited to a public reception on the arena concourse. Thank you for joining us for this special celebration of the installation of President Ashish Vaidia and the next chapter for Northern Kentucky University.
Northern, let your vision lead us, hearts of women, men, and youth. Help us see